Hey, boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about the new kid on the block, the little baby that Netmarble just brought home from the hospital, ISO 8's new little brother, Uru. We're going to discuss the good, the bad, the ugly, and what I think is going to happen with this new material, and how I think a lot of players are going to take the direction of upgrading and equipping this new material. So we'll hop right into this. We're going to go with Strange, go into his gear. Okay, so first the good. I like the new material. I think it's going to really solidify a bunch of characters and their stats and their damage output. So I really like it. I'm anxious to start equipping it and see what it does, especially when you get all 5 of these pieces equipped and you can amplify it. I'm interested to see what that does, this Uru amplification button. You must fill all slots with enchanted Uru to amplify it. Really anxious to see what happens there. But we're going to talk about the individual pieces right now. So first, the ones that I think are good. Defense penetration. I think that's a good one. That's a must-have stat for damage output. A lot of these upper level players have good defense penetration in their cards, like 30%. I think they will use this to shore up any lacking defense penetration that they need to max out at the cap of 50%. And if they already have maxed the cap from an obelisk or their native gears, they'll skip over this one for that particular character, and they will go for critical damage and critical rate. I think these will be the 3 top dogs of Uru. These all have to do with damage output, and they will be the most used. Thank you. So it's those 3. I think those 3 will be the top ones that are used. That's the 3 I'm going with, because that's going to give me maximum damage. This game is all about offense. Defense is a joke. These skills do way too much damage. The meta characters, their skills do enough damage to kill you twice over, so defense is a joke. So that's why I think these 3 will be the most utilized. I think next, the energy and physical attack ones will also be used a little bit once defense penetration and the critical stuff is where the player would like it to be. If there's anything left over, I think they will put it into attack rating. So I don't think these will be as widely used as the critical ones and the defense pin, but anything left over for them to boost their attack rating, that's where these will come in. So these are also going to be useful. Now we're going to talk about the bad. The bad is pretty much everything else. Skill cooldown, you can max skill cooldown from your alliance level and your cards. So I think these will be useless. Dodge is, you can get, thank you. You can get a lot of dodge from tier 2 passives and native gear stats and obelisks. So I think it would be a waste to try to put a bunch of dodge onto characters through this material. Recovery rate, no. Some of the characters get healing passives in their tier 2, and if you want to amplify that, most people go with or already have recovery rate obelisks attached to their characters. So I don't think they're going to put recovery rate onto their character when they already are used to whatever their obelisk is running at. So I don't think these will be utilized either. HP, no. Do not do this. I upgraded one. I don't know what I was thinking. Might have been lack of sleep. I don't know, but you don't want to go with HP. I don't care how much HP you put on a character. The top skills of the meta characters, and I'm talking about Doctor Strange, Thanos, Proxima, Supergiant, Sharon Rogers, Odin probably, they have skills that can kill your character 2 or 3 times over. I don't care how much HP you put on there or how much Uru, you're still going to get smoked. You're going to get one-shotted. That's why a lot of the players use the damage immunity obelisks is to prevent that from happening, but no amount of HP is going to stop that. So those are garbage. And then, like I just said, defense is a joke, so these are also garbage. Energy and physical defense. I would not waste my time or my resources upgrading these. As you can see, I started upgrading some of them, and then I feel that that was a mistake. I will be converting those. Yeah, so that's the bad. Now the ugly. The ugly part of Uru is upgrading. The failure rate. I've noticed that when you go from 1 to 2 star, or 2 to 3, or even 3 to 4, the failure rate is pretty low. It's quite easy to get a 4-star Uru. Beyond that is when the failure rate jacks up. I've tried upgrading this 4-star Uru a couple of times now, and it has failed every time. Now, when it fails, let's say you have 2 4-star and you're trying to create upgrade to a 5, you only lose one of them when you fail at an upgrade. So if you have 2 and you upgrade and it fails, you will still have one of them left. So that's kind of a little upside. At least you don't lose everything you're trying to work on, but you will lose one. The other bad part of this is farming these. Energy is really tight right now, guys. I'm not going to lie. Between the memory missions and the unlimited 30-minute special mission run, and world boss invasion, trying to do as many of those as possible, energy is tight. So the new chapter missions cost 5 energy to run, so it's not hard to run through a bunch of energy really quick on those. Another problem is some of the newer players or people who have rosters that are not well developed are not going to be able to farm those missions. So if you're one of those players, you really need to work on your characters and getting them up to at least to a point where you can finish chapter 11. Actually, the defense penetration Uru, I think that drops in like 12.5 or 12.6. It's whatever Fandrel's mission is in chapter 12. So I mean, if you can't get up there to that, then just keep upgrading that roster, man. You're gonna have to get some tier 2s in there and just do the best you can. But it's going to be harder for the mid-level and low-level players to get up and get that defense penetration Uru. So that's the ugly part of this, is the time and energy and resources to find these things and upgrade them. And like I said, whenever you go from a 4-star to a 5-star upgrade, you're going to need a lot of these things. You're going to need... Like, personally, the next time I try to upgrade this 4-star, I plan on having at least 10 of these 4-star Uru. 10. Just to see how many times I succeed. I might get, that's 5 upgrades. I might get 2 5-star out of that, 2. And I guarantee you, 2 5-star, when you upgrade that, you're not going to get a 6 the first time. So that's the other problem with this, is you're going to need a ton of these things to get the max 6-star Urus. But those are just my thoughts on this new material. Like I said, I like it. The only downside is the upgrade fails and then the resources to get them. Other than that, I think it's really cool. The direction I will be taking mine is, really dependent on the character, but I can tell you that it's definitely going to be like to shore up crit rate, crit damage, any kind of defense pen, and whatever I have left over will be going into bumping up my energy rating. So with Doctor Strange, I have my defense penetration max, so I'm not going to need those for him. I'm going to be, and his 6-star skill jacks his critical rate up 60%, so I'm not going to put anything to critical rate. I will be putting all my Uru for Doctor Strange into critical damage, and whatever left over is going to be going to energy attack to maximize his DPS. So you kind of have to look at your character stats and see what they're kind of short of and what they need for as far as damage output goes, and kind of go from there. But that's how I'm going to be using these things. I'm definitely going to be farming and trying to upgrade the ones that I mentioned. And that's how I'm going to utilize them. I think that's how a lot of the higher level players will be utilizing them, because this game, like I said, is all about offense. It's all about damage output, and those are the ones that are going to maximize those stats. So that's where I'll be taking it. Hopefully, you guys can catch this early on and not waste your resources and time upgrading Uru that are just going to be useless, because you want to maximize damage. So hopefully this helps you out, guys. And then after I get some Uru upgraded and get that shield level up, and maybe I can amplify one and see what the effects of that are, and I can revisit this subject later on and tell you how it's going. But for now, just do the best you can, and I'll see you out there.